Welcome to a chapter a day. The parable for today is The Cup with No Handle. A wandering man named Kazuo stopped by a potter's hut to rest. The potter, a man named Soma, greeted him warmly. "Will you stay for tea?" Soma asked, already pouring hot water over leaves. Kazuo bowed. Only a moment. As the tea steamed, Soma brought out a fine clay cup, but with no handle. "Strange cup," Kazuo noted gently. Soma grinned. "It teaches me. A cup with a handle invites grasping. One without reminds me to hold carefully, with full attention, and to let go without clinging." Kazuo nodded, eyes glinting. People too are often grasped like handled cups, expected to offer comfort, reward, or usefulness. Soma sighed. "It's hard these days. Everyone seems to want something." Kazuo looked out toward the misty woods. "When one walks alone," he said, "it's not out of bitterness, but clarity. Better to walk alone than carry the weight of half-held friendships and transactional smiles." Soma placed the cup in Kazuo's hands. "Still, it feels good to share tea with someone who isn't reaching for anything." Kazuo smiled. "Then for this moment, we are not alone." They drank in silence. Take a moment to reflect. Sometimes what we long for most is companionship free of conditions, where we are not expected to perform, produce, or please. But in a world woven with transactions and unspoken expectations, such friendship can feel rare, like the cup without a handle. Kazuo's story reminds us that solitude is not always loneliness. It can be a path of integrity, a gentle refusal to be pulled by hidden motives or tangled obligations. When we no longer reach to grasp or be grasped, we discover a quiet strength in simply being. Letting go of clinging to roles and relationships doesn't mean closing the heart. It means walking without neediness. It means offering presence like tea, warm, unforced, and easy to set down. And when someone meets us there, not to take or demand, but simply to be, then we are no longer alone. Pause and ask yourself, are my connections rooted in shared presence or silent expectation? Can I sit with someone without needing to impress, fix, or be understood? Where might I walk more freely if I stopped grasping? Here's a real-life scenario. Feeling used in a friendship. Imagine you have a friend who only calls when they need something, help moving, advice, a listening ear. You offer again and again, but afterward, silence. No check-in, no warmth unless there's a request. At first, you feel hurt, maybe even resentful. But instead of reacting with anger or cutting them off abruptly, you pause. You remember Kazuo's words. It's not out of bitterness, but clarity. So you begin to shift. You stop reaching. You stop overgiving. You let the silence arrive without rushing to fill it. If the friend reaches out again, you greet them kindly, but without attachment. You no longer expect their calls to be different. You've released the handle. And in that release, you free yourself, not from people, but from the ache of needing something they cannot offer. Your solitude becomes a sanctuary, not a punishment. And when someone does show up, just to sit beside you without reaching for anything, you will know what it's worth, and you will hold it gently. Buddhists say, people follow and associate for a motive. Friends without a motive these days are rare. They're shrewd for their own ends and impure, wander alone like a rhinoceros. Let's explore the quote. This teaching comes from a series of versions that celebrate the beauty of solitude and self-reliance on the path. It begins with, people follow and associate for a motive. Often, relationships are formed based on gain, advantage, or hidden desires, not always from a genuine place. Friends without a motive these days are rare. It's uncommon to find those who connect with no expectation, no agenda, just simple presence and goodwill. They're shrewd for their own ends and impure. Many are clever with words and smiles, yet their intentions are self-serving or clouded by attachment and ego. Wander alone like a rhinoceros. Not as rejection of the world, but as a reminder better to walk alone in truth than be entangled in hollow company. In simple terms, walk your path with clarity. Let solitude be your companion when company pulls you away from peace. When you are rooted within, even alone, you are never lost.